Hey there! Today I want to show you how to create objects from a 2D menu in a 3D scene. So let's start with the 2D menu. I will use the UI builder. Here I added a scroll view to the scene. This one is a horizontal scroll view. It is aligned at the bottom, has a row direction and a little background. I also created this building box class, which has just a width of 50%. We will use this later. So let's create the 2D menu. Here I created a UI input manager, which holds the building sprites. This one has the UI document and instantiates a building picker helper. Check our UI builder tutorials to learn more about that. So in our building picker helper, we first save our building sprites and the root visual of our UI document. Then we get a reference to our building scroll and start to build the building scroll by looping through every building sprite and create a group box with our class and attach an image to it with the sprite source. We also add a click event register callback. This one will be called on a click on one group box. So if the user clicks on one image, we want to call the object placement controller and start placing the current house. So in our object placement controller, we have a public method start house placement. Here we decide by the name which house we want to place. We get this from a list of game objects. If we have a prefab, we instantiate one as a floating instance. This one will be following the mouse of the user. So to follow it, we need the update method. Here we first check if the floating instance is set, and if not, we will return. Then we get a mouse position and then shoot a raycast from the screen to the mouse position. We take our plane and shoot a raycast to our ray. And if this one hits, we have a point on our plane where we can place our floating object. But we don't want to place this one on trees or other houses. So we create a temporary sphere on this point and check if it collides with a tree or a house. If it collides, we give the floating instance a red material and we set a bool value to true, so we can check it later. So if we found a valid position, we can change the material to green. And if the user clicks, we destroy the floating instance and instantiate a new prefab on this position. And that's it. Now, when we click on the 2D sprite, an object appears and we can drag it around in the scene. If it hits a tree, it will get red, and if it gets on a free field, it will get green. And we can place it. And the good thing is, this will work with many objects. So you can place houses, wells, and windmills. The only downside is, we use the sphere to check the collision, so it's not very accurate. Maybe we will change that later. So, I hope you learned something new today. Subscribe to watch more tutorials, and I'm sure I see you in the next.